Okay, so thank you. Thanks, Grace, for joining me. And and also for sharing your experience.
No
So, Grace, you're in your final year of year
Final
12,
month.
the final month. How exciting. And like a lot of year 12 students and VCU students find this last year or last couple of years with a heightened sense of with stress, anxiety, pressure, and all of that. So I'd really love to capture here, your experience in terms of what things were like before, you started working with us at HypnoLAB. And some of those things that you were facing, which, let's face it, a lot of people in are facing. But in your own words, what were those main concerns for you and challenges that were creeping in?
Yeah. So the kind of main issues I had was a lot of academic pressure that I put on myself and how I was kind of trying to deal with that because I didn't realize that pressure was a me thing as much as it was externally. So it was definitely trying to understand how that was affecting me. There was quite a few like anxious moments. Actually, it was kind of all I was having. But it was just like learning to understand them and why they were occurring and finding the patterns with that. Um, but yeah, I was kind of a mess, and it was very dark and gloomy in my head. But then, through talking, that kind of changed in some way or form.
Yeah. So on that, what are those key things that perhaps that you've learned or experienced, or that you really appreciate going through this process and talking through things, and also going through those therapeutic steps as well? How did you find the process and the interaction itself?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, sure, sometimes talking about what you're feeling and everything that you're like going through isn't the easiest to do,
Yeah.
but I found it all like incredibly helpful. Especially kind of how I was dealing with the physical side of like being stressed and everything. It was understanding why that was occurring and kind of connecting that to the mental side of things. That was a really big thing. Um, and also on that with stress, because that's a fun thing to work through. Working through kind of how to calm stress down was a very big thing and kind of combating that. Um, as well as a separate thing, preserving my own energy and preserving like my space and my kind of bubble in regards to people around me and how I interact with them. Because let's face it, year 12, everything falls apart. So you gotta like deal with people being people and how they deal with stress and how that's going to affect you. So learning that was really helpful.
Yeah, wonderful. And in terms of you're going through your final exams now, literally as we speak.
Yeah,
Tell
no,
me,
tomorrow.
yeah. Tell me how you found that, or how you feel that this process has contributed to the way that you're managing um, those exams, because that's obviously top of mind for this year, isn't it?
The entire year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um so before speaking with well, you at HypnoLAB, um, it was very much a be all and end all. The exams are going to kill me. By the end of it, I'll be 6 feet under. It was not a fun experience. But then through talking with you, I've kind of figured out that it's not the end of the world. And I mean, you hear it from so many different teachers being like, "No, it's not. It's nothing. It's going to be fine." It's like, no, it is a lot, and they do put a lot of stress on you, and it's not an easy process. But through speaking about it and through understanding why exams are built up so much, it was very easy to kind of calm that down and be like, "You know what? Oh, well, I'll just do it and I'll try my best and it'll be great. So
Exactly.
it's
And
been the understanding.
yeah, and focusing on doing your best rather than the other, all the other focuses which detract away
Because
from
there's
what, yeah,
plenty.
from why you're doing this. Yeah, absolutely. So, so what are some of those key things that you're now noticing within yourself that you really appreciate knowing and having, not only having learned that through this process, but that which you're taking into the rest of your life?
Yeah. The main one I can think of is being a lot more insightful to my own needs and my own kind of energy source, I want to say. Um, yeah, it's kind of the understanding of what I need and what I'm feeling and how that is either affecting the people around me or is being impacted by those people. And it was, yeah, the main words. But yeah, the main thing I'm taking through is the understanding of myself and that I'm my own person and I'm growing and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. And thank goodness, learning this now and beginning that process of self-discovery and expansion and all the good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience of this year and of the program and process. And to anyone who's perhaps watching this and going, oh geez, I wish I could be like that. Or, any other year 12 student that might be watching this, do you have anything to share, anything you'd like to share, with them, or any kind of encouragement?
It takes time is the main thing I can say because I'm still not perfect. I'm a year 12 kid doing VCE. Like it's not easy, but I think working at it and working at whatever is bugging you and taking the time to continue to work at that is a really valuable thing. So just be patient and
Mm,
it'll eventually fix itself. Eventually.
eventually. Yeah, wonderful. And that it is a process, and I guess starting that process as early as possible, or as early as doable, is going to be in the best interests. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Grace. And obviously, wish you all the best for your final exams, but the whole completion of this year and your whole future ahead of you. So
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.